A question I get a lot is it possible to get big muscles, put on some of that muscle mass without weights, without lifting weights or without going to the gym? And I would say, hell yeah, you definitely can. I live in New York, and there's a lot of guys, man, who work out at the parks, and that's all they do is calisthenics on the bars, that's all they do. But I will say this though, like there's gonna come a point where you get so strong, you'll be able to do like, a million pull-ups or a million push-ups. And at that point, when you're doing like crazy reps, anything like above 14, then you're not building muscle mass at that point. You're probably building endurance. The amount of push-ups and pull-ups you do will increase, for sure. But you might not be getting bigger. You'll be building endurance that way. Like think of like a bicyclist. They might not have big ass thighs like a bodybuilder, but they have more endurance because they're doing like, thousands of reps. Because when they pedal, they do thousands of reps, as opposed to like a power lifter. When he works out his legs, he does like 2-3 reps. So it's like that's the difference. That's why power lifters get big, but endurance athletes, they have the endurance and they're ripped. They're ripped. So if you want to put on that muscle mass with calisthenics, you're gonna have to find a way to increase the resistance as you get stronger. A good way to do that is incorporate suspension training. Something like TRX or Human Trainer. I have a video on how you can make your own suspension trainer for only $10. Great things about the suspension trainer, it's easier to manipulate the resistance, so you can make it like heavier depending on your placement. Another way to increase the resistance is maybe get a weight vest, and that'll work like really well. So let's say you can do 20-something pull-ups on your own. Now you put on a weight vest, you can only do 5 to 8 reps, and now you're going to be able to put on that muscle mass the way you really want to. Another way to manipulate the resistance is to time your rest in between sets. So like if I'm doing pull-ups, right? If I'm in the park and I'm doing pull-ups or whatever, as soon as I hit failure, I hit the timer on my iPod, rest exactly like 1 minute or maybe even 30 seconds, and then go back on. So like my muscles haven't fully recovered, so it seems heavier to me. I can do less. You're not really manipulating the resistance at that point. You're just fatiguing the muscle a little better. So yeah, to make a long story short, you definitely can put on size with calisthenics. You're gonna have to find new ways to manipulate the resistance as you gain strength. But one thing I will say is, I don't understand why you would want to do that, like only use calisthenics. Like I use calisthenics a lot because it's convenient, I don't have to go to a gym. But I would never say that's the only thing I do, like I do calisthenics. I have a small weight set at home. I don't have a gym membership. If I can sneak into a gym or go with my friends to their gym with a guest pass, I'll definitely do that. I would never like deliberately limit myself and say, oh, I'm only gonna do this one thing. Because I don't believe in limitations. I don't limit myself in no way. So you can build muscle mass with just calisthenics, but I suggest you do a variety of things. Your body responds well to changes. So like if you've only been doing calisthenics for a while, you'll probably see some new growth if you go back in the gym. And vice versa. If you're one of those guys who only works out in the gym with the heavy weights, if you go to a calisthenics-based program for a while, you'll probably see some increased gains because your body's just not used to that. Switch that shit up, man. Switch that shit up, man. You do whatever you gotta do, man. As long as you got the resistance, keep switching it up, you're gonna be able to put on that muscle mass.